Hey Bryce, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Good to see you again. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Same, of course, of course. Yes.
The film, of course, debuted last September at the Toronto International Film Festival to roaring applause. Sorry, cannot speak English this morning. Roaring applause, great reception. You must have just been feeling so wonderful at that moment.
Oh, thanks, Bonnie. I mean, it's honestly, that was a crazy high getting to watch that movie with my dad, with an audience, with so many of the people who are part of making it. And even more so now, I treasure that experience because I really did make this to be able to be a movie that could be experienced in the theater. Uh, that's why I hoped for it to kind of slip into the genre of comedy because that's really what that's like the most exciting theatrical experiences or when you're either laughing or crying or being terrified, and so getting to actually see it with an audience was hugely satisfying and something something that I'm just really happy that I have.
Yeah, it really was great. And I want to ask you, after meeting with so many dads, how did being a mom help you understand dads better?
Well, I think being a mom, you're a parent, and so you have, like, we've gone through the same sort of like experience where you're like, I'm someone who has very little responsibility, and then suddenly you become someone who has the utmost responsibility. And also, just as a mom, I had my assumptions about fathers. They were actually really like positive assumptions. And I had my questions, and so I think it definitely helped in a way not being a father myself because I didn't there was no agenda in terms of like what was going to be said. There was a lot of discovery in getting to interview the fathers and learn about what their experience of being a parent is like. And there were a lot of surprises within that as well.
Oh, I'm sure there were. There's no question, Bryce, that you hit the gene pool, the jackpot, basically, with your parents. There's no question about it. Two
Yeah.
wonderful, wonderful people, great family, wonderful siblings. And then you look back at your dad, Ron's, life, and not only did he have a wonderful father himself, but when you look back even at Andy Griffith, who another wonderful father figure. I wanted to know, what Ron said to you, or what the best piece of advice he gave you growing up, or even just when you decided to become an actress and then a filmmaker yourself?
I mean, honestly, the best advice that he gave me was in who he has been, in the way in which he's modeled how to be in the world. That has been the most important and impactful thing for me as a human being, is seeing parents go through highs and lows, and they get humbled and they grow and they can celebrate and all of that. Like, getting to witness that, and it's two people who are, different in some ways, but equally committed to having integrity, um, living by the golden rule, being kind, and I think for me also, because I happen to want to be a part of the industry that my dad had, been a part of his whole life. It's been that much more in just that much more helpful because I've seen, like, oh, this is what dealing with rejection looks like. This is what dealing with frustration looks like. And so it's, while there's a lot of good advice that he's imparted, it doesn't even compare to the impact of having a parent who's being an example, a good example. That's just better than any advice that you could ever give.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that you are following tradition. I'm sure you're a great parent as well as your husband, Seth. And thank you again for your
Right.
time.
It's hard. Yeah, I look at some of these guys and I'm like, man, they are incredible. And it's beautiful to see examples of parenting that make me and an audience or whatever, a viewer, want to step it up.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, there's always room to grow.
Always room, that's for sure. Well, you are fantastic. We hope after this pandemic you'll come back to Toronto and visit us here again. We love having you here, Bryce. And best of luck with this film. It's just wonderful. Perfect timing for Father's Day. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Bonnie.
Okay. Bye, Bryce. Bye-bye.